into it. I'll take a chance and let you in. Just take my hand and take me home tonight. We defeat all impossibilities. Yeah, you and me. We'll take our hearts and run free into the wild. Into last one at the end of a black hole, coalesce beneath the ground. All done by my own hand. I allow my feelings to become sand. If you're gonna cut me down, better do it quickly now. Now you can cut me down, but I won't stay for long. I'll grow back again.
Alright, you guys ready for an exciting stream, jam-packed with tons of action? How are you guys doing tonight? You guys doing great? Ready to talk about some analytical melee content? Apparently it doesn't get any views. It doesn't get any views. Nobody wants to watch it, because nobody cares about getting better. What do you... Let me just get like a general uh you guys' thoughts just in general on analytical content. What do you guys think? What are some thoughts, opinions on analytical content in Melee? Like, do you think it's... do you guys... First of all, do you guys like it? Do you guys enjoy it? Do you guys watch it in the first place? And then, like, if you do, how much do you prefer it to, like, just, you know, Twitch clips or whatever? Like, how many of you guys, like, play Melee and actively try to get better? I don't play Melee, I just have COVID. Oh, that sucks. Hope you get better. But yeah. Just want to get, like, a general feel of what you guys think. Just wanna get a general feel for what we got going on here. Let's get everybody's thoughts. Personally, with me, I like that kind of content. I think it's informative, but I think in terms of getting views, it has to be done right. We'll cover this in tonight's stream. Just want to wait for some more people to get in here. Then we'll start. Yeah, just I watch a lot more educational content. That's good. Yeah. I feel like really good, like, educational Melee content is, like, I feel like it's hard to come by, but when you get it, it's so good. I really don't understand how stupid fiction is. Well, we'll get into that. Uh, because I kind of get his position, but at the same time, like, I'm just saying, dude. Um, Twitch clips are fine as content. Yeah, I think like I think anything Melee content wise is fine. It's just a matter of what the consumer wants, and yeah, that's kind of just what this is about. Like, how to get views with analytical content or educational content, that kind of stuff. because obviously seeing the top players just style on people with highlights, that's gonna get a lot of views. Like people want to see that. But you know, not everybody who watches competitive Smash is a competitive Smash player. Some people just want to watch the tournaments and just want to see their favorite players. They don't necessarily want to, learn the game and play it. So yeah. Um, like I don't think it's really just that educational content doesn't get views itself. It's just that it's for people that actually want to get better. Yeah, like it has a specific target demographic, that kind of content. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. So this whole discussion sparked by Fiction top melee player. Uh, he said, if the melee community at large cared about actual analytical content, I would have made so much more, so much sick stuff by now. Honestly, just so hard to get motivated to do it when top player uses low tier and top player consumes hot sauce, etc., are just 1 million times more appreciated. Alright, so that's obviously the tweet. It got like a good chunk of replies, a good chunk of quote tweets. Um, then we had some counter opinions, like Toph said, counterpoint. The best performing videos on my channel are all analytical content. The deeper the better, always. I guess either you check those out and see what I'm doing and you mimic, or we start doing collabs so you can do what you love and you can get get me views, lol. Yeah, so it's not that getting views off this content is impossible. Like, let's actually hold on, let me pull up Toph's channel. Hold on, let me just get Toph's channel up. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. Let's look at his videos. So yeah, like he's able to get videos like talking about controllers, neutral, theory, in melee. Like he's getting views when he makes analytical content. Like this is he's talking about like with punishing analytical melee does exist, but there's not really an audience. Well, this is where I disagree because it's like Toph is able to get views off this. Uh Let me just sort by most popular. This is talking about Daigo. Uh, where is this? See, neutral game theory, teaching somebody melee, like, yeah, controllers. More controllers. Melee. Talking about controllers again. Um, yeah, like, there's obviously, what's the drama? Basically, Fiction was talking about, analytical melee content. 30K isn't much in my opinion. I mean, considering his channel size, that's a good chunk. And then, what you call it? Let's just read some more of these. Just make it and get us interested. Yeah, I agree. PPU's kind of has my opinion that I think anyone will watch any type of content so long as you make it interesting enough. Um, because that's on the content creator. If you can captivate or like motivate the person want to actually watch them, then people will watch it. I think a good example is Gimmer. Gimmer, I mean, obviously this is with ult, so that's not really, that's obviously a different fan base, but yeah, like some of the content he makes, he's talking about like reaction time, uh, different setups, labbing, and look how many views he can get. He gets over 100,000. Like with each video. You cannot get off the ledge against ice climbers. This has 136,000 views. What about Awesome Sauce? Yeah, Awesome Sauce too. We'll get into Awesome Sauce later. Even Hacks. Like, Hacks literally seppuku'd his whole public image and, like, social media presence, and he still gets tens of thousands of views per video. And look, this is what I mean by you have to know how to captivate, like, the viewer to actually watch your content. Look at this. Look at the title, look at the thumbnail. Somebody might just click on this. You can't see, the goal is to not present analytical content as analytical content, to just present it as content so the viewer just learns something. Because most people, like, let me go. Like, Slime says it best here, actually. He says, like, Fiction's tweet is funny because it's the classic case of forgetting that most of Melee's viewership is extremely niche and diehard, and people that tune in for giant tournaments do not give they don't care about shield stops and knockback stacking, not enough to pay the bill. Yeah, like, most people do not care. Wait, you get not. I don't have beef with Kimmer. Nah, but yeah, yeah, most people don't. The actual audience for Melee in general is small. It's not that big. Like, yeah, maybe like, let's say 100,000. Now take that 100,000. How many people actually try to compete and get better? Maybe like 3%, so like 3,000, 4,000, maybe. So getting like double, like tens of thousands of views on an analytical video, that's crazy, and it's possible. Like, it might not be big compared to some of the other stuff, but it's still sizable considering the audience, and that's the key. That's what Gimmer does well. He's able to captivate, like, the viewers to actually want to watch this stuff. Like, look at how many views he gets on these videos. And it's literally just him explaining techniques and setups and stuff like that. Like, this is how you should be making content like this. Even, like, oh, that's not Toph. Like, even Toph gets tens of thousands of views. Hacks gets tens of thousands of views. Even Gimmer here. I've been able to make a brand on stuff like this through my guides on my YouTube channel. I think format for the video is most important, the most important thing to make it interesting, and there are creative ways to make that work. Most of the time, it's a 20 mil stream of consciousness vid from pros. Yeah, like, you need to know how to make good content. This is what I mean, because it's more than just the actual information being put into the video. You actually have to brand it and do that kind of stuff to make it good. Like, what do we call it? IBDW, like, yeah, people who think analytical content is worth it, it isn't, it doesn't get views. Most people think they want to get better, but realistically don't, and that's also fine, nothing wrong with it. He kind of said what I said before, that the actual population of Melee fans that actually play the game and want to get better and become, like, high-level players, is that population so small. So appealing to that demographic is obviously not going to, it's not going to be good. But if you make your videos entertaining and you hook viewers outside of that small niche to actually watch it, like Gimmer does, you can get views. Like, this isn't even, like, this is literally just how good you are at content creation. Let's see this. See here, everyone taking everyone taking their turn to clown on me for complaining when other pros, even PPMD, told me he stopped doing long form analysis because it didn't get views. So maybe stop dunking on me for 10 seconds to realize how much you've all missed out on by having bug level attention spans. Here's the big left. Here's the problem with that. let's also read more of these because I want to add more context to what I'm about to say. If I really want to be popular, yada yada yada. Um, just him talking about his video. This is genius. Like he's because when he actually does drop his video, it's gonna blow up. Then he says, hold up, where is it? Okay, this is the tweet where I was like, okay, dude, you were an actual idiot. Okay, so at a friend's suggestion, I finally watched some awesome sauce videos, and I gotta say, if this is what you people expect me to do on my own, it's just not gonna happen. Just gonna finish putting together my boring lecture video and ride my 200 views into the sunset. If this is what it takes to teach the community the most basic information, y'all can just stay ignorant then. Okay. Let's take a look at some of your videos. Which one? Which one do you want to click on? Which one are we gonna watch? Like, this is what I mean by it's more than just the actual content of the video. You actually have to put effort into making the content. Like, you're just uploading full unedited VODs. You're not even putting a thumbnail. You're titling it, oh, Fiction Melee Lesson with Netplay Falco #3. Like, all these videos look the same. Like, I can barely distinguish the videos from each other. And yeah, like, as you said, I like fiction lessons. The actual content in the videos is great. It's so good. It's very good for people who want to get good. You're not even gonna, it's like, he's like, okay, like, if you guys want me to edit, like, awesome sauce, nobody's asking for you to do that. Nobody's asking for you to do that. We're just asking for you to put a thumbnail. We just want you to put up a thumbnail, that's it. A thumbnail, title it right, and edit it down so that way it's coherent. And yeah, and it'll work. Like, no one's asking for you to use, like, crazy transitions or anything. We're just asking for you to do the bare minimum. No, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about, he's like, oh, if you want me to put, like, ultra amounts of effort into my content, this is your content. You're not putting any effort into it. Nothing. Ninja made a 1-hour video about Mango versus Zane, and it got more views than some videos he did around the same time, I think. Yeah, like, if you frame it properly, people will watch your stuff. Like, let me go to Ginger's. Honestly, Ginger's kind of been falling off recently. He's getting decent views, but at least he actually puts in the effort to making content. He makes thumbnails. He edits his videos down, so that way they're not just unedited VODs. Like, look. This is an unedited VOD, but he made a full-on thumbnail. Like, that's the reason people... It's like, he's not even talking... He's saying, like, oh, people don't want to click on... don't want to watch analytical content, but it's not even that's the problem. People just don't... They don't want to click on your videos in the first place. This isn't a... What is the community interested in argument. This is a YouTube content creation argument. You are bad at making YouTube content, so nobody watches your YouTube content. The actual information in the video is great. It's great. And if you actually put effort into making your videos, I think they would actually do well. They would be great videos. But compare this to this. This looks like just some throwaway channel where you just upload your Twitch VODs. In fact, that's literally what this is. least make a thumbnail or something, dude. This is the stuff I'm supposed to watch. When he says, oh, if you guys actually cared, no, I don't care about these videos. Like, I've watched some of them. This is, okay, you made a thumbnail here. That's alright, you made a thumbnail here. You made some thumbnails, I don't know why you stopped. Yeah, exactly. He's complaining about a completely the wrong thing. He's upset because he doesn't know how to make YouTube videos. And then he blames us for not caring about YouTube content. And at the same time, but the thing is, he's technically right. We don't care about this kind of content. But even then, a good YouTuber should be able to entice people to want to watch it. Like Gimmer. I use Gimmer as the example. Because Gimmer gets hundreds of thousands of views. And it's like, what random person is just gonna want to learn, like, Smash Ultimate Tech? How many of those viewers went into that video and, like, I want to be the best in the world, or I want to become a high-level Ultimate player? Not many. But people still clicked on it because he made it interesting to the average viewer. And also the fact that he's never even seen an Awesome Sauce video, or at least that's what he's implying by this. Like, so let me get this straight. You want to make Melee content, but you don't know what's... But you're not going to look at who's... It's like... So you want to make Melee content, but you're not going to look at the successful Melee channels and figure out what they're trying to do so you can replicate it. It's like you're just going to... It's like, dude, just learn how to make content, dude. Just watch Awesome Sauce. You don't even have to edit as well as him. You don't have to put as much effort into it as him. You just need to put something in. More than this. This is not effort. These videos suck. From a content creation standpoint, they suck. From the actual information, that's the complete opposite. But, dude, it's... All you have to do is put a thumbnail on, and I swear your views will double. But no one's gonna click on this because it looks like an amateur made it. This doesn't look like fiction made it. This looks like an amateur. This looks like my autistic 12-year-old cousin that Prank Dream made it. Like, this is the kind of stuff we're talking about here. Like, you can be successful with this kind of content. Hacks' content, for Christ's sake, is way more boring than anything on this channel. Hacks! And look at the views he gets. Let's compare and contrast. Let's do a quick compare and contrast. Hacks' videos are so boring because he's explaining, like, game mechanics and the actual stuff like that. And look at his views. Let's look. So after he seppuku'd his career, we go here. So these are all his videos since his apology. Look at how many views these have. And yeah, you could say, oh, well, he has, like... He has over 10 times the following, or 15 times the following, but even then, Hacks completely screwed his public image these past few months. And he's still getting this many views. There's still an audience for this. And him having this many subscribers, all that proves is that there is an audience for this content. like the art of spacey shield pressure. The most complex attack in SSBM. See, Hacks knows how to frame it in a way that makes you want to watch the video. He interests you. Even go back to his older videos. How to Live Forever. The most misunderstood. These have hundreds. Look at how many views these have. Why competitive SSBM needs a ledge grab limit? 228,000 views. Like, you're gonna tell me that people don't care about analytical Melee content? Really? Like, people clearly do. You just have to make it correctly. And then let's actually look at awesome sauce. Look how many views he gets. It's almost as if putting more effort into your content will get views. It's like he's only seeing this from the perspective of like, oh my god, why is he just does not understand how to just make content. He just doesn't. Like, look, this is genius. This is how you should be making content. Twitch streamers are pretty bad at understanding what a YouTube viewer wants universally. Yeah, like they just don't know. Yeah, like all he has to exactly. That's all fiction has to do is instead of making Polish versus Hungrybox Smash World Tour analysis puff perspective or something like where let me find a I don't know like fiction melee lesson featuring 20xx God Fox versus Puff and no thumbnail. All he has to do is title it "Do This to Beat Hungrybox." Fiction not being able to cope with the fact that he's boring. Yeah, he talks like this. So you see Peach, she can't move. When she does, like, her movement is terrible. Yeah, the actual stuff you're saying is good, but the way you're presenting it is bad. So no one cares. It's like, all you have to do is just learn how to make content. And then he's upset, like, oh man, you guys don't care about getting better. It's like, dude. Yeah, this is how you beat ice climbers. And it's like, yeah, that's all you have to do. You have to understand the YouTube metagame. And you don't. You just know how to explain stuff in Smash. But you need to know how to explain stuff in Smash to a YouTube audience that may not want to play the game competitively or seriously. Add some music. It's like he just straight up does not want to learn how to make content. Never get grabbed again. See, you're making... Look at the... Damian Jackson, you are making some of the best titles. We need to send these to Fiction immediately. We need to, like, zip them up in an envelope or something and just ship them out. That's what we gotta do. But, like, when you post these unedited VODs, no, like, audio to, like, supplement them. Like, just watch, like, Fox versus Roy.
Oh, hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, sorry, I think there was an issue with my mic for a second. Anyway, how's it going?
Yeah. Going all right. Yeah, I think my mic is probably really bad too, but
Yeah, there's
you
some motor in the
understand.
background, but it's not a big deal.
Like, why does this need to be in the video? Oh, there's a motor in the background. Who cares? Just get to the melee. Chop it up, edit it. So that way it's concise. Like, oh my god. What he needs to realize is people like me who's saying this stuff, we're not saying it just to be mean or to just trash on him. We're saying it because we're right. And that if he did this stuff, he would make good content and people would watch it. Yeah, that's a cool thumbnail. Bro, did you just make this in like 2 seconds? This is actually a real cool thumbnail. Oh, hold up. Let me actually show this to... Put this on the stream. Image, add source, browse. This is actually a really nice thumbnail. To whoever made this. Some guy in my Discord, which by the way, you guys should join my Discord. Look at this thumbnail. So guy, what's his name? Willow. Like, look at this thumbnail. Some guy just made this during the stream. Some guy just made it during the stream. It took like 2 seconds. It should be in the links in the description. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, it's in the description. You can join. Yeah, look at this thumbnail. Is the guy? The guy who made this in my Discord. Did you just make this? Are you in chat? And if you are, did you just make this like in the past few minutes? Because like it's not that difficult to make thumbnails. As somebody who makes thumbnails, it's not that difficult. And look at how good this is. Look at how nice this is. This is a good thumbnail. Oh, that's from a template? Point proof and even further. Just use a template to make thumbnails. Oh, yeah, Marks. But still, if it's from a template, like, then just use a template to make a thumbnail. That's all you have to do. Literally all you have to do, dude. He's like, oh, my videos don't get views. I wonder why. I wonder why. Like, you don't put any effort into it. But anyways, we've been going in circles for the past few minutes. So, PPMD actually talked about this on stream, and he turned it into a video. Notice how the stream isn't the full unedited VOD, it's a chopped up version. PPMD... I was watching part of this. It was a great stream. I think it was very useful, and we're gonna watch it now. So yeah.
Hey YouTube, hope you're doing good today. I'm coming to you from my stream because I knew I wasn't going to want to talk about this off stream, so hopefully you guys can enjoy whatever Twitch chat is going to be doing while this is going on. Anyway, point of the video today is I wanted to talk about analytical content. There was a discussion, argument, whatever you want to call it, on Twitter over the weekend, over the last few days, about whether it could work or not. And to kind of start things off, this was mainly something that came via fiction. I will enhance so you guys can see that a little more easily. He says, if the Melee community at large cared about actual analytical content, I would have made so much sick stuff by now. Honestly, just so hard to get motivated to do it when top player uses low tier and top player consumes hot sauce, etc. are just 1,000,000 times more appreciated. So I think this is a sentiment that we have seen in the community before, and it's not something that's been talked about a whole lot though. It's been in various places, and I think some of you on YouTube might know that I was doing a series known as Educational Unranked for about 6 months last year, and I ended up stopping it because it didn't seem like it was growing my channel, didn't seem like it was helping a lot, and I kind of wanted to switch to that because I saw that my own analysis wasn't doing as well. So I did talk to Fiction about that some. He did end up talking about me, which is part of the reason I wanted to clarify my position. My position is more nuanced than analytical content can't succeed, but it might depend on how you define it. But before you think it's just me and Fiction, I did also want to bring up that IBDW, or Cody, as I will be referring to him throughout the rest of the video because IBDW is too long.
Also, side note, if your name has a W in it, don't like abbreviate it with like IBDW is short for I be doing work. But that has fewer syllables. Like, why is that always a thing? Or like W words, just like the W has more syllables than the actual word. Like a walker. My name's John W. or John Walker or something. I don't know. Like, don't do that.
He said, yeah, people who think analytical content is worth it, it isn't. It doesn't get views. Lol. Most people think they want to get better, but realistically don't, and that's also fine. Nothing wrong with it. So this is a different take, whereas fiction sounded a little more, upset about it and everything like that. Cody was more that this is fine. This is not really a big deal. There's other ways to do content, and it is what it is. Some people say they want to get better, but they really don't. And so this is a different kind of way of looking at it. And I'm not here to tell you what's right or not, but I am here to tell you that it's not just fiction or whoever else has this. There are some other people that might have that view too. But regardless, it was something interesting that I would like to point out as a bit of a different point before I talk about other viewpoints on Twitter is I actually did a poll on my stream. And I'll show you the results here. A little bit hard to see, so I'm going to zoom. I asked, and I tried to make this as emotionally neutral as possible, how do you feel about analytical melee content? The results were, I like it, 76%, it depends, 20%, and I don't like it, 4%. So if you add it depends, which means they probably do like it, it just depends on the person or something like that, then that would make 96% of the results, but that is 24 responses total. I had a longer poll going before that with similar responses. I think we had about 50 or 60 responses, something like that, and the percentages were pretty much identical. But I changed it to make it more emotionally neutral here. So and the poll did run.
I think what people say when like fiction saying like, oh, people don't like long form analytical content is like the deep like analysis, like different intricacies and neutral and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like you don't put thumbnails on your videos.
10 minutes, but again, it's a short period of time in one live stream. So worth keeping that in mind. But so it's an interesting thing. Is it just my stream? Because I'm someone that's known as more analytical. Do people, are Twitch power users and the people that are going to be here the ones that are going to like that stuff more? Well, we're going to try and get into it, and we're going to figure that out. But I did want to kind of say at the front, so you don't have to watch this video, which I can already tell is probably going to be a little bit longer than I anticipated. My view of the situation. I believe that high-level content is not worth it. There aren't many high-level players. But entry-level content is super helpful. And if you can make content that can appeal to everyone, maybe mid-level or higher-level players can get something out of it. But if it can also appeal to lower-level new players, then that's what seems like that does the best, right? Because there's so many players that, especially, the pyramid widens as it goes farther out, so there are going to be more people that are going to be able to use and appreciate, understand the information farther out. So,
and even below the low-level players, you have just the spectators that watch Melee and might want to know what's going on in the matches. So, like, at the top of the pyramid, you have, like, your top players, and as you go down the pyramid, you go top-level players, high-level players, mid-level players, low-level players, and then spectators. You should appeal to the spectators, because they're the largest group. They make up the vast majority of, and low-level players, they make up the vast majority of the community. That's the audience you should appeal to. Or even just casuals that, like, see Smash Brothers video. They don't care. Like, they don't care about a smash turn pivot jump. No offense, Westballs, but, like, they don't care. They care about Pit's spinny move from Brawl. And like the a million uses for it. Like that's kind of
my view on, that's my high level view on it. But to kind of get into the weeds, I think we can kind of go into a little more of that. And we're going to kind of look at examples of people who say it works and how things have performed on a couple channels. And we're going to try and figure this out and pull what we can from the information that we have available to us. So the first thing I wanted to do before we get into all that is I wanted to kind of say, well, what is analytical content? Is it just educational content? Is it analysis of games or sets or single interactions? Is it explaining how moves work or how moves work against other moves? Is it an overall strategy like how to play defensively with Fox? Are there how-tos, like how to edge dash? You know, what's analytical and what's not? That's a question that I think that's something that I think is not often fully talked about. And I think people have different understandings of what analytical content is. So I want you guys to kind of keep in mind that there might be a disparity when we're discussing what analytical content is. Some people might think it includes all educational content. Some people might think it just includes analysis. So that's something to kind of remember here, and that's going to be a key point moving forward. But I do think some of these things perform better than the others. So whether it's analysis or how-tos or strategies, right? I think some of these things perform better on YouTube than others. And so to kind of talk about...
Because each topic appeals to a different group. So like deep analysis, like how to play defensively with Fox, is probably going to appeal to mid-level players or high-level players, or really mid-level players. But a topic like how to wave dash, or how to destroy ice climbers in all caps, that's going to appeal to more people, because the topic itself naturally appeals to more people.
What can work, I want to go to Toph's tweet. And so we're going to do that now. And he said, the only thing I'm going to say on this topic of people not liking analytical content is something that I'm surprised nobody brings up. The Irvine boys were pulling fat numbers on YouTube for years on SSBM tutorials with purely educational stuff presented by top players. So now we have a list of various things that are getting quite a bit of views on SSBM tutorials. And I thought this was an interesting point, and I wanted to kind of figure out, you know, what...
And back to, like, fiction. Fiction was like, oh, if this is what it takes to give you the bare basics. Let me see. If this is what it takes... In reference to Awesome Sauce. If this is what it takes to teach this community the most basic information. No, it doesn't take this. Because look at SSBM tutorials. It's not like they were using crazy editing. Or, like, putting crazy amounts of effort into each video. It was basic, just edit the video, present the information, and it performed well. Of course, that was also during, like, the documentary, and there was an influx of new players, so obviously that played into it. Like, here, to be fair, my videos are made to entertain a general gaming audience rather than Melee players seeking to actively improve. Since your viewer base is already familiar with Melee, you could get away with much less intensive editing to explain concepts, something akin to Hax's videos, except Hax actually knows how to make YouTube videos, so he gets views. Like, the only people who are willing to put up with this kind of, like, video, unedited... First of all, the only people that would click on these videos and then watch them, even though they're unedited and you put no effort into it, yeah, they are the people who really want to get good no matter the circumstance. Like, they're going to try to get good. But maybe if you put effort into the content, those wouldn't be the only people you're pulling.
What is kind of the reasoning for that? And, you know, Cope wasn't the only one. KJH also seemed to believe that analytical content, educational content could perform well too. And so I thought, okay, so there are, you know, influential members of the community that also believe it can do well. So it'd be fair to give this a look. And so I went to SSBM tutorials and I began looking, and I sorted by most popular, and I'll just show you, this is what it is by most popular. And there were a few things that kind of stood out to me, but I will scroll through, and there was a hiatus that they took. If you'll look by newest, you'll notice that there's recent things, but then and then there's like a year ago, right? But then there's a jump to like 4 years ago. Okay, so I kind of want you guys to keep that in mind while looking this over. That's going to be a point I'm going to bring up as well. But let's look at what is most successful here. And first thing I do want to point out is actually the older stuff did a lot better. And I think, you know, I think some people are going to say, well, that's just because it had more time to get views. And I really don't think, you know, something that is going to get, I don't know, let's go to something 4 months ago, the 16,000 views on how to beat any low tier or floaty in Smash Bros. This one right here, I don't think this one is going to particularly, become 100,000 views or anything like that within a few years. Maybe it will if everyone watches this video and then goes and spite watches it or whatever, but I would be surprised is my point. And so I think there is something that might be a little bit different about the few years ago period, possibly a little bit. But I also kind of want to say that I want to talk about what's most popular. I want to talk about, what is the content that is primarily being focused on in the most successful videos. And so I'm looking at things like how to be good at Super Smash Bros. The first one here. Are you a Falco player? Noob mistakes. Are you a Marth player? And then there is a how to smash DI. There's a beginner's guide. How to moonwalk. And we have a discussion video. Is Fox really the best? There's a different one lower. Is 20XX going to happen? There's a tier list. And so you can kind of see there are things that are a little more in depth as well, how to approach as Captain Falcon. But if you look at what is mostly going on here, how to short hop competitive melee for beginners part 1, there largely are things that are geared towards newer players, and there are some things that are geared towards maybe a lot of players, how port priority can affect your game. Let's see, there was another one I was looking at, top 6 ways to get off the ledge with Falco. These things can be kind of interesting for a lot of players. They're like, well, I only know edge dash and double laser. What else is there, right? There could be some other interesting things that can happen for other people there. But again, if we're looking at the vast majority of what is succeeding here, we're looking at things geared towards beginners. Are you a Luigi player? L canceling, how to practice, how to DI, a lot of more entry level things. And so
Yes.
I thought, okay, well, maybe this is unfair. What is...
Even Scrumpy did a good job on making you want to click his... Yeah. Like, it's literally just learn how to make YouTube content, not how to make melee tutorials. Like, yeah. And this is, he's saying exactly what I was saying. Like, you gotta appeal to a larger audience, which is the bottom of the pyramid. Spectators, casual viewers of Melee, beginners, entry-level players. Especially with the introduction of Slippy, there was a huge increase in the player base because Melee was becoming more accessible. There were a lot more new players. A lot of people who played Ultimate that were like, maybe I want to try out Melee because now there's the new netcode and it's really accessible. And yeah, those are the people you should try to appeal to. If you try to appeal to people up the pyramid, well, there aren't that many people up there to begin with. Let alone... like, this is so funny to me. He's like, oh, I don't want to put in all this effort to make videos, but you don't even put any effort into making videos.
The least popular stuff, besides the newer stuff. Because there were things that were older that didn't do as well too, right? And there are specific tips from a different top player, Sheik tech chasing tips, or Lucky's Fox techniques, Peach F smash tricks. And so I was kind of thinking that it almost, and I don't know if this is, and I couldn't find a good explanation in my mind for why this sort of thing may be the case. Maybe it's too particularly niche. And, but I could think tech chasing is something that a lot of Sheiks would want to work on. So it's kind of a confusing scenario there. But I did want to what I did kind of notice is that these seemed like they were maybe a bit less polished in their delivery. And so I think, Kira, who normally runs SSBM tutorials, very polished with his delivery, probably has a very robust script. And so I think there might be something to the way the videos are delivered that actually could be more important than who is delivering it. So I thought that was kind of interesting that it doesn't necessarily have to be, a strong player to deliver it, but how you deliver it could be pretty important. So I thought that was really interesting to kind of note, what did and didn't work as well. And again, to kind of summarize the takeaways, the older things seem to do better. There was an explosion on YouTube with less channels in the golden age, or the platinum age, which was 2014, 2015-ish, and that's when this channel mostly uploaded its stuff. But the presentation seemed like it mattered a lot, and then the content that was geared more towards everyone seemed to matter a lot. So that kind of seemed to be in line with more of what I had been thinking, but this really reinforced that. But again, there were some surprising findings as well. And so so this is a channel that is more seen as a general guide channel. And what about a player that said, okay, well, I can do well if I do analytical content? And Tove actually said that his in-depth stuff did better, and the more in-depth things he did, the better it would be.
Everyone dunking on fiction has been pretty funny. Yeah, because dunking on fiction's easy.
Tove's channel, and I'm also sorted by most popular. And you will note that Amsa's theory on neutral game, which is the video that Tove talks about, he cites as the video that would be the biggest example of this, is done well. It's done well on his channel, and it's blown up much faster than any of his other videos to get to this point. Maybe the Daigo gets melee one would have blown up as quickly or something like that, but the Amsa one did great. Now, is this an anomaly? Because I was kind of surprised based on what I thought Tove uploaded, but we're looking at Uncle Punch, Amsa needs our help, we're trying out Beyond Melee, how good is a net play Falco, talking about Ginger's tier list, the controller meta, teaching Melee to a brand new player. So there is some coaching that's going on there, and people have talked about how Mango's coaching also is interesting to them.
Like, that's all fiction is. It's coaching and lessons and stuff. But once again, no effort into the content, no views. It's as simple as that. If I started making content, I would instantly learn how to make thumbnails. Yeah, that's that's one of the most important parts. To getting clicks.
GameCube controllers, streamers could save Melee, history of Fox, controllers again. We're talking about online meta, Scar interviewing Chillin' Dude, homie stocks. And so, I had to go, and so I was looking for more things because I don't think a lot of these are analytical in terms of how to play the game so much. And so I was trying to look for another one. There's one that I think I had to go down a little bit for, but it took me a while to find it. The best method to L cancel in Melee, there was an L canceling discussion, which maybe is analytical, maybe not, depending on how you define it, but you can see that didn't do as well. That's down here, 11,000 views. And so I was kind of,
propaganda.
But that might not be Tove's niche, right? Maybe he's like, okay, well, if I do it, it does as well. But if I look at some of the other videos that are geared in that sort of way as well, it might not. And so do we take this one video, Amsa's theory on neutral game, to be what we can do for every video? Or is this a bit of a unique scenario where Amsa is, we're not able to always know what Amsa was talking about, or this is just a unique sort of situation where everyone wants to know what Amsa has to say, and then because he streams in Japanese time, we often don't get to hear about what he's saying, and something like that. So it's a little unclear in that scenario, but we do see that it's able to succeed well. It's one of Tove's best performing videos, but some of his other stuff didn't do as well. So there's kind of a, what do we do with this confusion there?
I think the way I see it is that if one video could do well, then any video can do well. Like his Amsa video did well. That means that analytical content can do well. And we already saw like other channels that can do well. Hax's channel is an example. So yeah, I think it can.
And so if I wanted to draw any conclusion for what I kind of talked about so far, I think I would say that it doesn't seem as easy to do now what it was before, given the look at SSBM tutorials history. But we can still say that the most successful stuff was for newer players or for, more the general audience, lower and mid-level players.
Like, even, hold up, there are so many players that just sprung into my mind making analytical content. Rishi, Junebug. Rishi and Junebug make analytical content. And they succeed. Like, let me pull up their channels. Like, I don't get this whole... Like, Rishi, look at Rishi's videos. Like, he hasn't uploaded in a while, but these still had a ton of views, like, when they came out. Like, can Donkey Kong win a Super Major? Smash needs a rule set overhaul. The intricacy... These have hundreds of thousands of views. Choosing your main. Decision making. Can Young Link win a major? These have so many views. And they're deep analytical videos. Junebug, like... I'm convinced that Fiction just knows nothing about YouTube if he thinks that this kind of content doesn't work. Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Hold up. So we made some guides for PM back in the day. Is FD a good stage? Analyzing Rishi. Roy. Ganon. Analyzing Laud, projectiles, and Smash, the hidden comeback mechanic. Like, I'm convinced Fiction just does not watch YouTube. If he doesn't understand what putting effort into his content means, if he does, he's probably never seen these videos. I'm just convinced he just doesn't know how to make YouTube videos. If he really thinks that analytical content can't survive. Even me! Like, yeah, you're right. Even me. Well, let me get these up. Like, I made Melee guides, Melee shorts, like, and they all worked. Even me, like, before I became this drama-starting YouTuber. Look. Like, this is the playlist, but, like, is there a way that I could see, like, the individual views of the videos? And I can't put 26,000 views. So for the character guide, 16,000 views. So before we... 7,000 views. Like, look at this. And I had, like, 400 subs at the time. And these videos aren't even in 1020... aren't even in 60 frames per second. These were in 30 frames per second. 5,000 views. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about spacing, and it has 1,000 views, and I had like 400 subs. And I was still getting more views than Fiction. So look, I actually committed to making thumbnails. Wave Dash applications and uses, 600 views. That's more than, like, the majority of these Fiction videos. How to improve at Super Smash Brothers. 1,000 views. Like, if I can do it, you can. Yeah, turn down for Walt. There's so many good Melee content creators. Are they all necessarily high analytical stuff? No, but maybe that's not the stuff you should be making. You shouldn't be making crazy in-depth analytical stuff, but maybe, you know, give it to us in bite-sized pieces. Like, hold up, Moki. There was a Moki video that had Fiction in it that was really good. Like, this is, let me show you an example, like, exactly of what I'm talking about when I say, this is what a Fiction video should be.
Yeah, that one.
28 minutes, edited. He gives the information at the start. He starts giving information. There's no talking about, oh, there's like a car passing by my window. How's your day going? Oh, it's good. What did you eat for dinner? Like, you don't need to know that stuff. Just edit it out. Edit the vibes.
You were like narrating like into her, but not like really committally. It was kind of like right on her, like right on the edge of her or whatever.
Like, yeah, okay. So I was doing like this kind of shit.
And so I think the biggest thing is like to understand like how Peach deals with threats.
Okay.
So like Because Peach is unique. Like Fox, if you're threatened as Fox, you simply get out of the way.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But with Peach, Peach actually can't get out of the way of threats. Like if you run at Peach and you try to hit her, she actually can't get out of the way. Like if you notice, she's always pretty much right where she was when you try to hit her. And so she can't get out of the way. So her only options for beating your move is to either throw out her own move to beat it or to shield. That's it. She doesn't have any other way to avoid her move.
Okay.
And so like the problem is that what people do is then they go, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend to hit Peach.
Yeah, that's the stage I'm at. That's the stage I'm at.
Yeah, so I pretend to hit Peach, and then she throws a move out, and I see that she threw the move out, and I try to hit her because, you know, I baited her. So in my brain, I'm like, well, I baited her, I deserve a hit. But Peach is unique in the sense that, like, when she protects herself with her move, she doesn't actually open herself up to, like, a whiff punish.
Yeah.
So the problem with Peach as a whole is that she can't move. Like, her movement is so bad. So the key is to hit Peach while she is readjusting her positioning.
Okay.
So you can change the positioning as much as you want, really fast. You're Fox. You move around. When you're like, hey, Peach, we're about to fight, and Peach is like, all right, I'm in fighting mode. You can't beat Peach there.
Okay.
You've probably noticed by now.
A lot.
Every time you try to hit Peach, she just hits you back, and she has really buff arms, and they hurt.
A lot, yeah, they hurt a lot.
Or you get shield grab. And so the issue is that when Peach thinks you're fighting, you can't fight her. So what you have to do is say, look, Peach, no matter how badly you want to fight me, you don't get to fight me because I am not in the range that you want to fight at.
Okay.
And then Peach has to make a positional adjustment to put herself in a position where she can maybe fight you. And during her movement, she's vulnerable. See how you hit her out of that fair right there?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a few seconds delayed now. I'm probably on mine because I'm watching your stream. But when you hit her out of that fair, the reason why you hit her out of that fair was because she was trying to move. She was trying to approach you. So when Peach is there and Peach is like ready for your attack, don't be like, I'm gonna fake attack and then I'll do a real attack, because that doesn't work on Peach. She's the only character in the game that doesn't work on.
I see.
What you have to do is say, we're not gonna fight at all. And then when Peach tries to close the space, then you hit her. And literally, this will completely change how the matchup works.
Okay. I'll watch this.
Alright, that was a long clip. But you see how he adds, like...
This will
it's edited.
completely
It's not just...
change how the matchup works.
Okay. I'll watch.
It's not just an unedited VOD. That's what a fiction video should be. And you guys saw it was informative. Let's get Turned Down for Walt in here. Because Turned Down for Walt makes great content. He makes more like documentaries and stuff of like the stuff he does. I don't really consider him analytical, but he's still great Melee content. He gets it, and he's able to make Melee appeal to people who may not like that. May not be interested in Melee necessarily. So yeah. That's kind of it.
And that would still cover what Toph did successfully, and that would also cover anything SSBM Tutorials has done successfully. So that's kind of what we're looking at when we look at specific channels. And yeah, so I think but what does Toph do well that a lot of other people might not do as well? Having a polished delivery. Probably being able to communicate concepts in a really clear way. And then, usually having occasional for everyone content, but maybe having a little bit more kind of hardcore content. Highly editing it, playing the algorithm with your title and thumbnail, as we can see a lot of Toph had the open mouth, arrows drawn, whatever for the thumbnails, or we put the caps,
maybe even putting a thumbnail to begin with.
Caps lock in a few places in the title, that kind of stuff. That stuff will make a difference for your video. And so you could see that he was also able to do that more, whereas people often criticize players myself included in some of the stuff that I did in the past, for not playing the algorithm more, not making it easier
Yeah,
to
like
digest.
what you're saying to Victory. Like, yeah, the point is to get people interested in Melee in the first place, so then we would have more people that might actually want to play the game, and then fiction actually has an audience. Yeah, fiction's content has no polish. Has no effort, has no polish, and that's why it doesn't get views. It's not because people don't want to see Melee content or analytical Melee content. It's just that you don't put any effort into your content for people to want to watch it. I'm a like if I was a diehard I want to get good at Melee uh player, I might not even want to click on these. And that's the only audience that these kinds of videos would appeal to.
So all this being said, I think there's actually, and you can see I'm kind of moving towards this. There's actually one more perspective I wanted to talk about here, and that's Slimes. If you don't know who Slime is, he's a Melee commentator. I don't want to say Ludwig's friend. It's weird, but if you do know Ludwig, he is very involved in Melee as well. Slime has commentated some big tournaments. He's commentated pools. He got a start in a lot of ways in Melee, did Beyond the Summit stuff. Slime on the Scene, very good stuff. Highly recommend you check it out. But his take about this situation, I think, was also very deep and interesting. He's quote retweeting someone that says, "While we talk about content, all top players know how to do is make tier lists, recycle Twitter topics, and grind Melee, and are too scared to go outside of their comfort zone because the viewership reflects that people don't give a heck about them outside of Melee." So then Slime says he gets it. You just got to be brave and make people care about you outside of Melee. Takes a lot of work and personality. You get a baby head start because you have some diehard viewers, but it's just like anyone else trying to live the greasy content creator dream. So I think this take is interesting. And I think
You make tech videos. You can post that channel in the chat if you want.
it pushes us towards improving personality, becoming more strong content creators, which is something that we've been moving towards as a community for a while now. Brands like it more, spectators and fans like it more. It can bring more people into the game. It is a net benefit to the community. And some people have to take risks or go outside their comfort zone to do it. And I think there are some principles in here that Slime has certainly learned from working with Ludwig and then certainly looking at Melee content creators as a contrast to make his opinion known, to state how he feels. However, and this is something I kind of wanted to make a larger video about, but instead I'm going to put it here. I wish Melee players didn't have to become content creators. This isn't really anyone's fault besides Nintendo's for not giving us money. But this is something that we now have to do, work on these separate set of skills, because we don't have enough for sponsors and there aren't other endemic ways to get our brand out there that sponsors could push more and things like that. This is something that we kind of have to all take on for ourselves, so this is kind of like a semi-grassroots sort of thing here that we're still evolving into. And I also kind of think that it can be hard for a lot of Melee players to want to, I guess we'll say, spec into those skills. This is partly due to when you're grinding Melee a whole lot, maybe you're spending all your day doing that, you're probably not working on learning more cultural things that you can use as references, or working on your interpersonal skills or talking to people a whole lot. You're studying frame data, or you're grinding, or you're analyzing, or whatever. And there aren't really resources to help people do this. There's not a course you can take that says, okay, well, this is how you do a content creator. This is how you figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are. This is where you can go to find an editor. It's all, you got to put, it's not really organized, and you've got to really fumble your way through it. And all of that said, I think everyone isn't suited to learn or even do this. Some people can work more towards it, and I think that's great, but not everyone's meant to be an entertainer. Some people want to play Melee because they want to play Melee, and I think that should be okay. I don't think we should come down on top players for not being entertaining, because that's not everyone's job. Their job is to play Melee.
Yeah, that's... I kind of agree with PP here, but remember, we're dealing with somebody... This is who we're dealing with, just in the back of your heads. I agree, some people aren't meant to be entertainers, they're not meant to be content creators. But at the same time, this is so laughably bad I don't think that
again, I'm not
excuse
saying
works.
that we shouldn't focus on content creation. I think that's very valuable for us, but I also think, it's a fairly large ask as well. So all that being said, I do think analytical and educational content can succeed. But really mostly educational content. Analytical content, as I define it, is something that's more analysis driven, something more for higher level players, and that I don't think can work. Maybe there is a way to work it. Maybe if you are doing hot sauce and you're drunk and you're talking about that one time you had a sandwich with Scar and mango, maybe it does work. I don't know. But I think as long as you're doing stuff that works for everyone or newer players, I think that's great, and I think it can succeed. I think it needs good polish, good delivery, good script, good editing, playing the algorithm, good personality, but it can be done. These are things that can be worked on and improve everyone, even if you're not someone that's suited for this. But I would like to also say, just to again say it, let's be fair and say that not everyone's suited to be a content creator, and let's not try and demand that of them.
Clearly. Like, I need to stop dunking on him, but he kind of did. He brought this upon himself. Like, when you're being so like aggressive about this, like you kind of did it to yourself, buddy.
So in other words, I think educational content is worth it and awesome, but maybe not everyone's thing. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I am curious to hear what you guys think. Do you consume analytical content regularly? Is there someone you'd like to see do more of it? What's your favorite piece of analytical content out there? Let me know. I'm curious. I could learn more about it and maybe tailor my own stuff too. I do want to do more of it myself, but just wanted to focus on doing more discussion videos, a little bit simpler and still fun for me. So if there's something you want me to talk about, you could always let me know that too. I'll keep it in mind. But anyway, thank you guys for listening to this video. I know it had to have been a long one, but I hope you stuck with me to the end, and appreciate you.
Yeah. Good video. It's, yeah, basically said everything I said. That, like, if you want to make good melee content, you have to appeal to the bottom of the pyramid, because that's where the people are at. That's where the majority of the audience is. And you have to find a way to appeal to those people. So yeah, that basically, yeah, great video. PPMD, the GOAT, as always. And yeah, that's kind of it. What do you guys think? I might start making, your... Jack, what does that mean? What does that mean, Jack? This is like a cryptic message. Like, you're an expensive shoe, Jack. What does that mean? What does that mean? It's like when you said, I'll make you miss birthday. What does that even mean? I mean, you're an expensive shoe. I'm not an expensive shoe. I'm a very affordable but yet cool shoe. If anything. I don't know what Fiction's opinion on this is. He just needs to put effort in. He just needs to hire an editor. Not even that. He just needs to watch YouTube, because I'm pretty sure he just straight up does not. Like, he does not see what people are doing with their YouTube content. Daybreak is arising. Yeah, all he has to do is just literally take whatchamacallit, like, what kind of title is this? Fiction melee lesson featuring deep cuts, Falco / general advice, and doesn't even have 300 views, and he's like, why am I not getting views? Because no one wants to watch that. Now, if you titled this, like, Destroying Ice Climbers 101 or something like that, and then you put, like a thumbnail that's good, that would work. This is like when Fiction got mad at everyone for not playing his game when he didn't know how to market it at all. That sounds like something he'd do. Jesus. Jesus Christ, dude. Like, just fun fact, a man with a mustache is just like a man without a mustache with a mustache. Now, I could literally make a video about Falco better than this. Better than this. Get like thousands of views. Honestly, I was gonna make Fox's ultimate guide against ice climbers. See, I was gonna make a non-drama. I was actually gonna make an analytical video this month. Um, just about gaming, not really Melee, but I might make a Melee analytical video now. Just show Fiction how it's done. Yeah. I kind of want to make this kind of that kind of content. Like obviously I want to talk about important things like I mean we call it drama, but personally me I don't consider drama like I don't consider destroying people's lives drama and being a pathological liar. Um Never lose to Samus again. This is how Chudat does it. Yeah, like stuff like that. That's what you guys are better at making YouTube videos than Fiction, and Fiction has 2,000 subscribers. One of them is me. Do it on April Fool's Day. I actually have a different video planned for April, but I can't actually disclose it yet. Uh, it'll come out around like April, May, but yeah. I was gonna make like a non-drama related like analytical video this month, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. Fiction needs to learn how to write summaries of his own VODs, yeah. Title the video calling him out. Show how it's not that hard. Yeah, I'll make the greatest Melee video ever. It'll be heat. It'll be so good. Here's how to make an analytical video Fiction. Easy clap. Summarize. What's the video that John Swan fans will agree with you on? You'll find out. That I'm actually postponing that to next month because there's some information that I want to get, but I'm probably not going to be able to get it until February. So yeah. The video that John Swan fans were going to agree with me on, that I was talking about that video, it was originally going to be the video I was originally going to release that later this month, but I have to wait for some information and evidence and stuff to come, so once I get it, which will probably be in February, that's when the video will come out. But I've been working on it, I've been scripting it, I'm just waiting on a few things, and once I get them, we'll be good. But man, what kind of title is this? Like, Puff Perspective. Like, that's something that you need to do. How Polish uses spacing to beat Hungrybox. Yeah. Exactly. You guys actually understand how to make titles. Like, then you also have, like, SEO tactics. Like, whatchamacallit. Like, for instance, let me just type this in chat. Like, the reason, like, say, on my Leffen video, notice how... Oh, let me actually just pull up my Leffen video. Show up and recommend it. No. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about... like, look at how I title these. So I title it John Swan, How to Be Dishonest. Because the way YouTube works is, the keywords in your title are the most important, because like that's what you're searching. You're searching titles of the video. So when it comes to SEO, the title is the most important. The description is actually second most, which is crazy. But the titles are the most important, and the keywords you put at the beginning of the title are the most important. So that's why I put John Swan first, because I want, if you search up John Swan, I want this video to appear. With Leffen, I want to rank well for Leffen, so I put Leffen first. Hugs, I put Hugs. Anti-Haxers, because that's the name of the series. That's another thing. Making a series of videos, so you don't have to search the individual ones. You can search up just the series. So I put Anti-Haxers first. Some of these other ones. I just look at my popular videos. A beginner's guide to playing Melee. You know, this is before I've really learned like SEO tactics, so whatever. The problem with MVD in the Smash community. So see how I load the, even here, like see how I load it with keywords like the problem, MVD, Smash community. If you search up MVD right now, see what happens. Description matters. Yes, description's super important, because you can pack that with so many keywords, and that's how you can rank for videos. So description, like, just pack it, just write a bunch of stuff, like, make sure they're actual, like, sentences, like, grammatical, like, correct sentences, otherwise you'll get flagged for spam. But if you pack it with enough keywords and stuff, you'll start ranking for that stuff. So yeah, you need to understand, like, basic YouTube tactics. That's the key. Use titles as a way. Titles are the most important with keywords, and then use the thumbnail to explain what the video is. Like, instead of titling, like, your video is the second result for MVD? Yeah, exactly. That's how you do it. And there's also, like, actual analytics with those videos, like watch time and that kind of stuff that goes into it. But the reason why, if you search up certain videos, they pop up is because you try to rank for certain keywords. So yeah. Like, what are you ranking for with this video? It's not going to appear in search. He's lucky he got 2,000 views off this. Like, fiction melee lesson. Okay, these are, like, this is a series of videos. Yeah, exactly. That's literally what I do. Because you put Leffen, and then the rest, I put just impactful keywords that pop out to you. So like liar, fraud. You know, they stand out. Hugs, and use all caps to add emphasis. Like Hugs, the biggest joke in the Smash community. Yeah, and that's the second thing. With the thumbnail, you should know what these videos are. You should be, yeah, I could, honestly. You should know what the topic of the video is without looking at the title. That's the key to writing good titles and making good thumbnails. The thumbnail should tell you what the video's about. The title should be how you rank in search and that kind of stuff, and with other videos. So like, ignore the titles. Like, what do these videos, like, you could tell what these videos are. Okay, best of the franchise. How to be dishonest, I put John Swan, a dislike, so I didn't like the video. And it's of John Swan, how to be dishonest. It's about John Swan. This one, oh, it's Leffen, a liar and a fraud. It's about Leffen. Among Us, like, yeah. And then with thumbnails, the biggest thing, like, there are two types of thumbnails that I make. Mainly, like, obviously there are some exceptions, but mainly, either it's, when you make thumbnails, simplicity is the key with thumbnails. You should know what, like, obviously, as he said, you should be able to know what the video is about just by looking at the thumbnail, but you want to keep it simple. So look at my Leffen thumbnail. There are two types. Either it's two objects aligned on the thirds, so that's like John Swan, anti-haxers, or it's one object in the middle that's really big. Because remember, look, you don't have that much space. So you gotta make sure that each picture is you need to make sure that you're using very few pictures, but they're really big. That's why I think no more than 2, maybe 3 pictures is what you want to use, because you already don't get enough space. They appear small. So that's why I only use 2 pictures. Dislike and John's one. A picture of Leffen. Hugs, I add some extra stuff here just for the meme. Anti-haxers. And then add text so you know what the video is about. So yeah. Alright, Jack, what do you want? You want me to get on Sideswipe? I'll get on, like, hold on. Let me just finish this. Let me finish enlightening the kids on how to make content. Yeah, I'll give Fiction a content creating lesson if Fiction gives me a melee lesson. We'll trade. But yeah, just like here, Rachel Nichols. I put Rachel Nichols first and then put everything else. And it's one picture, oh, a picture of her blown up. So you know what the video's about. Oh, it's about Rachel Nichols. Why? Because that's Rachel Nichols. Oh, this is about MVD. Why? Because it's MVD. Like, you... Like, what is this? What are these? Like, even that thumbnail that the guy used before. Look at this. It's simple. Simplicity. That's the key. That's the funny thing. He's like, oh, Fiction was like, oh, I gotta put all this effort into making videos. No, it's about simplicity is the key. It's your best weapon. Yeah, I want everybody who watches the stream to start making analytical melee content and just flex on Fiction. You learned it from me. Yeah. Alright, so that's basically it. Melee content. There are so many people who can... Let's just... For other examples, let's look at other people. Like, look at these thumbnails. Like, it's obvious what the video's about just by looking at the thumbnail. Or at least the thumbnail. Maybe not just the thumbnail, but when you see the title, they go hand in hand. Well, a bit unrelated. When do you think Leffen will finally get his just desserts? I don't know. Really depends. Uh, Alright, so yeah. Fiction, because the thing is, here's the thing that's most infuriating about this. Fiction could actually be making really good content. But he doesn't. He doesn't put the effort into it. I don't know if it's just because he doesn't know how to make content or not. Or if he's just like, I don't know. But anyways, how to use lasers as Fox. Yeah, it's just something simple like that. How to is actually like a really good... Like when I first started making content, they said how to was like a good titles to make because how to is a frequently like search phrase. So yeah. All right. So yeah, that's gonna be the stream for today. Just wanted to talk about this whole analytical content stuff. You guys got some gems on how to make videos. Uh, so yeah. I was gonna actually talk about another topic, tomorrow, but not tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow because we went way longer than I thought on analytical content. But yeah, we'll probably stream tonight, tomorrow night as well. Congrats on, oh, we hit 250K. What's up, Mild OCD? Hasn't updated for me yet. Let me just check the analytics. Well, we're getting close to it. Thanks, guys. But yeah, it was a good stream. We already know. Um, so yeah, let's try to maintain drama-free January. I know that we kind of broke that with this stream, but I think it's cool to talk about. Yeah, close enough. Yeah, I think it's cool to talk about this because I started out making melee guides, so yeah, I felt like I wanted to talk about this and I'm like, yeah, you can make guides for stuff, uh, and succeed on YouTube. It's just that fiction just doesn't know how to make YouTube videos. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and yeah, see you guys tomorrow because there's something else I want to talk about.